What's up, guys? So today I'm doing a voiceover with my cat sitting on my desk because he insisted, so cats are always right and you can't really push them away. So today I am doing my Scrawlrbox picture. And what you see here is something that I did a live stream on, and you guys helped me decide on the colors that I should use for this Scrawler challenge. So if you don't know what Scrawlrbox is, it's a monthly subscription box of awesome art supplies. And in that box, we got Chameleon pens, which are really cool because they give you a really awesome gradient. So if you see here, yeah, that's pretty cool gradient right there. Now, if I had to give a review on Chameleon pens, is that they are really fun to mix and match different colors that you really wouldn't have a clue on how to do a proper gradient, and that's my case. I'm sure you could do that probably if you're more experienced, but someone who's inexperienced like me, yeah, this does help quite a bit. I do have one problem with the Chameleon pens and it's that the inks actually run out very quickly. I'm sure you guys can hear my cat snoring on the desk. It's a little distracting for me, but it's kind of cute and I don't want to push him off the desk. And I don't know if you guys can hear him, but I'm sure when I listen back to this, I'll be like, yep, I hear Ramsey's snoring right there. Let's see if we can hear him. I don't know if you guys can hear that, but all right. So now the Scrawler challenge is maximum carnage, and I wanted to do a cat going kind of ballistic on this mouse, but at the same time I wanted to have this drawing be not realistic, but somewhat a little, you know, off the top. So I decided to do it kind of like a dream where a cat is having a dream that he's going really crazy with swords and ninja style on this poor little mouse that's kind of like a victim. So of course I kind of go chibi style just because I am a new artist. I'm not very experienced on drawing, so I'm experimenting with all the different poses and colors and shading. And since I am limited to the colors I received in the Scrawlrbox, I couldn't really, there's a cat off, there he goes, off the table. So since I was limited with the colors that I had, I really had to plan properly, and that's not always the easiest when you just kind of want to be like, I want to go with inspiration, but you have very limited amount of colors. And that's why I asked you guys for help on Instagram, because you guys had pretty good ideas on the colors that I should do. So this ended up being the color scheme that you guys helped me decide what color the cat should be. We debated on caramel versus like a tan and a gray. So if you look back at the picture that we did together, there was like these little splotches that we decided to go with. So back on the Chameleon pens. The gradient is really fun. The ink does die down quite quickly, and I wasn't even that aggressive because the picture that I'm drawing is a half page. It's not even a full page, so it's just a half page. So it's not even a big illustration. The time it takes to actually merge the colors is not long at all. So I thought it would be like 30, 45 seconds per touch and go, but it's actually 10 seconds will give you a really long gradient. So when you factor in how much time it takes you to look for a color, depending on how many colors you have, it could take about 10-ish seconds. So 10 seconds is actually pretty reasonable. So I definitely didn't have any issues with the mixing of the colors. So you could see that because I was limited with the colors I had, I kind of tried the touch and go with different colors to kind of get some shadows. And in some parts they were successful. In other parts I didn't let the colors touch long enough. So then they started to bleed through with their original color. I'm like, no, now I have like specks of red and specks of blue. And it's like, I just gotta kind of roll with it. This mouse is probably one of my favorite parts of this drawing just because of the expression kind of looking like, "Gah, I am so done for." Because this cat is just really looking pretty much maximum carnage. That's the best description. It's like either savage or maximum carnage, one of the two. Either way, you know that this cat has no good intentions behind what it's going to be doing. Another thing I wanted to say about these Chameleon pens is that one side is a brush nib and the other side is actually a bullet nib. So you don't have a chisel tip, which I'm totally okay with because I have no control with chisel tips whatsoever. So I'm kind of happy to have a bullet nib, kind of like the Prismacolor also color alcohol markers. I'm like, where are my words, Jackie? You got them all wrong. So yeah, you get those kinds of tips when you're going to be using them. I would definitely not replace my Copic markers with Chameleon pens, but I think Chameleons would be a great addition to complement those markers. So if you are looking for something in addition to your Copic markers, if you want to do a little more gradients or just play around and have new kind of material, this is something pretty fun. But then again, like I said, the inks do run out fairly quickly, so you would have to buy a couple of bottles of refills. Now I know that the refills are usually cheaper than having the markers, so there's always a bonus because the refills are pretty generous bottles, and yeah, they can fill up quite a few of those markers. So you'll see as I'm going with the blue contour, somewhere along the line, I'm starting to lose color. So I'm like, no, must not lose blue, because the surface, like I said, it's not very big. You see, it's starting to streak, so I'm starting to lose color, and I wanted to do kind of like a background with buildings, and it really was getting streaky. So you can see as I'm trying to fill them up later on, like, no, missing color. So it's either the tops that were missing color or the blue, but I'm pretty sure the blue was also pretty finished because you can see a more streaky side towards the left of the illustration. So yeah, I was pretty disappointed at that. I'm like, oh, I need to get those color tops. I don't know if they're available just yet, but the color tops are pretty cool. So if you want to see the unboxing, I'll leave a link for that in the iCard section. And here you have it, my maximum carnage cat illustration. I had so much fun putting this picture together, and I have you guys to thank for the color schemes. Some of you guys even said like Tom and Jerry color scheme, but I think this turned out pretty good. It was close enough. Close enough. Thank you so much for watching, guys. I'll see you in the next video.